Good afternoon, everyone, from the IBD Newsroom. Welcome to Stock Market Today. My name is Ken Shreve, joined by Justin Nielsen. On today's show, of course, we're going to take a look at what the stock market did today. And Justin's got three stocks to talk about. But first, let's take a look at the major averages. The Nasdaq ended with a gain of 1.4%. That was after a very bullish showing for the Dow Jones Industrial Average Wednesday. Gains in the Dow Jones and S&P 500 a little more muted today. The Dow was up 0.3%, and the S&P 500 up 0.5%. So, Justin, I know you've got some stocks on your radar. What are you looking at today?
Yeah, so you know what, we're going to follow up on yesterday's conversation that Ed and I had and put another security stock on your radar, another stock of the day. This is CrowdStrike. We'll also take a look at some retail names. Decker's Outdoor, that's the shoes, and Wayfair on its way back to new highs.
Okay, so we talked about a bullish day for the Nasdaq. Justin, I think what was good about the Nasdaq is we took out the September 10th intraday high today.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And also, I mean, you know, keep in mind, this was something that a lot of people were kind of wringing their hands about in terms of what to do in terms of calling yesterday. And for those of you that did not read it, I would really highly recommend Ken's big picture column from yesterday, because I think you really nailed it as far as I'm concerned. But today, I think the action showing a little bit more oomph by the Nasdaq was a very positive thing. And as you mentioned, getting above that September 10th high was kind of a big deal. We've been seeing a lot of the stocks get above their highs from like September 22nd, September 23rd, and that September 10th high is another kind of milestone for those to reach, for this uptrend to really have some legs. Now, of course, we still have this whole stimulus bill package that is kind of having some effect. You know, a lot of people are doing the will they or won't they, and so that could create some back and forth action. But right now, this does look like an uptrend is in play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, we had a nice bullish gap up for the Nasdaq on Monday when it gapped above its 50-day moving average. And again, we had a sign of strength by the Dow yesterday when it rose 1.2% in higher volume. All right, well, let's take a look at some individual stocks. I know, Justin, you wanted to talk about a top performing security software stock, CrowdStrike. And what did you like about the action today?
Yeah, this is one of the big players in the space, and we actually made this stock of the day today. Yesterday, Ed and I were talking about SailPoint, which is another security stock, but this one did not move as high as SailPoint did today. I mean, SailPoint just rocketed up 15% today, but this was a very nice move. Now, this is too short to be a base, but it is getting across that resistance. Again, that September 22nd, September 23rd for a lot of these stocks has kind of been an area of resistance, and it has gotten above that. It closed below it, but you can kind of see that this also is crossing a downtrend. So this is definitely an aggressive entry, because again, this is too short to be your classic base, but this is something that's kind of showing some power behind it, and it has some strong fundamental action that's going on as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned SailPoint. While we're at it, why don't we just
revisit that?
Yeah, revisit SailPoint, because we added it to leaderboard yesterday. It wasn't a great close. It got kind of pulled down with the broad market late, but a nice move today. One day after it was added to a leaderboard. It's joining the S&P Midcap 400, and also got an upgrade from Morgan Stanley today. So
that always helps.
Seeing some pretty good strength in the security software group. All
right, and these are not alone. It's again something that you're seeing in a number of the members of the group, and whenever you get that confirmation from the group, that's a good thing.
Yeah. All right, we did have a breakout today. You wanted to talk about Decker's Outdoor. This is a footwear maker, and this looks like a breakout to me.
Yeah, by the close, this is something that did kind of get a little extended. You can see that blue band. That's kind of our 5%. That's the area that you want to be doing your buying in. Once it gets past that, it's a little extended. But this came on, for users of MarketSmith, this came on your radar very early on with an alert that this was breaking out this morning. Looked pretty good. The relative strength line, you see that blue dot, that's telling you that the relative strength line is a new high ground. So there's a lot of technical action that's really looking good about this. And it's got this kind of base next to a base structure. Sometimes that's something that kind of shows a stock that's kind of consolidating. It's kind of building its power. And when you kind of take the market pressure off of it, these are ones that can go. The one downside I would say is that on the fundamental side, it does have some weakness. The earnings growth has been a little lackluster, as has the revenue growth in the last few quarters.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And with the MarketSmith charts on the weekly chart, you actually get the last 8 quarters of earnings and sales. And you can see a pretty choppy record. So we do like to see, fundamentally strong companies and technically strong companies. Fundamentals a little bit choppy here, but definitely the stock is a picture of technical strength, no doubt
And
about it.
that's one of those things that it happens that where a lot of these kind of what's considered coronavirus plays. I don't know if a lot of people are just working from home and they're feeling like they can wear their Uggs underneath their desks while they're on Zoom calls. Because no one's going to see
Absolutely.
their footwear or their sandals. So these are the maker of Uggs and what is it, Teva sandals?
That's right.
Teva?
That's right. Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned Decker's very early on IBD Live this morning when it was in the early stages of breaking out, and the stock definitely got stronger as the day went on.
And
So
a very good close. We always like to see that close in the higher part of the range.
absolutely. All right, finally, let's take a look at Wayfair. This is a very strong performing internet retailer, another beneficiary of stay at home. A lot of these e-commerce firms, companies like Wayfair and Restoration Hardware, RH, seeing a lot of business, strong online sales. So what do we like about Wayfair here, Justin?
Well, here again, it's kind of crossing that area of resistance. So this is kind of an aggressive entry, not your typical base, kind of low in there, but this is something that's showing power. And so here, these stocks that are kind of coming right up, right back above their 50-day moving average lines after spending a little time below it, these are potentially actionable stocks. And so this is one to kind of just keep on your radar. We actually put it on Swing Trader today as it was crossing that area of resistance. And that also kind of corresponds to a 300 level. A lot of times those century marks can be kind of an area where you can see more power after it crosses it. So those are a few things. Now this one did start its descent a little bit before the market topped, but it's looking pretty strong in its recovery, and it's most likely that relative strength line can easily make it to new highs before the stock does. This is still maybe 10% off of its highs, 9% off its highs, but it's looking like it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the crop of actionable charts are definitely
Right.
improving. Again, a big percentage gain for the Nasdaq today after a nice performance for the Dow. Yesterday, we saw outperformance in semiconductor stocks. The home builders continue to act well. Solar stocks, most of them are extended, but they continue higher. So market is looking pretty good here. All right, Justin, thanks for all that insight, and thank you all very much for joining us today. Sorry about those technical issues just before the show started, but we appreciate you tuning in today. If you haven't done so already, be sure to check out IBD Live in the morning. We go on air every morning from 9:20
9:20.
a.m. 9:20 a.m. Eastern time. A good solid hour and a half. We talk about the market, actionable stock charts. So we'll be on tomorrow morning. And if you want to just get a free trial, you can go to investors.com/IBD Live to check it out. So that'll do it for today. Ed and Justin will be back here tomorrow to close out the week with another video. Until then, have a great afternoon, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.